If your TV sounds funny in the evening, you're watching live from Studio 6B on Real America's Voice.
It is live from Studio 6B on Real America's Voice. Glad you're in on a Tuesday, August 12th, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. Slick Rick's here. He's going to be doing some sports. Kevin Downey Jr., the host of the Kevin Downey Jr. Show. He's here. He's going to be doing some news. Delgado took the night off tonight. Vinnie Mac is also off. He had surgery today. I have not heard from Mr. Vinnie Mac, but I'm hoping that all went well. I think he had a little hernia surgery, if I remember him telling me. So,
a little haircut.
We'll see if we can get a report on Vinnie here during the show. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always on a Tuesday. Lots to do, lots to talk about. Slickster, how are you?
I'm good, Big Dig.
How was your day?
Very busy. I started working at 7 a.m. this morning and didn't stop until about 15 minutes ago.
Okay, and now you're here for the next 2 hours to give us some good sports. So, all right, good. Kevin Downey Jr. is here. Mr. Downey Jr., the host of the Kevin Downey Jr. Show. You can hear weekdays 9 to 11. 1039 LI News Radio, Long Island, New York, where you can hear this program Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Friday nights live 8 to 10 as well. Mr. Downey Jr., how are you?
I'm lovely. Thank you, Big D. Can't complain. It's like I said, it's Christmas every time I turn on the radio. We got fun stuff to talk about. I want to thank Patriot Sherry for her lovely gifts.
Oh,
yes.
my gosh.
Some wonderful things. I got some stickers that says steams my clams and no transmabobs.
Yeah. All custom stuff. So the gifts just keep rolling in, which is just so nice of the audience.
Yes,
I got a laptop last night. I got a laptop. I got a phone charge. I got to get it all set up. But
Slick's going to have Slick's going to have an open house, not an open house, but he's going to have a little sale here.
A yard sale. No. Not for that stuff. For the old stuff.
Of course.
So I'm keeping that
How
stuff.
are you, David? How are you?
Very nice. Very good. Very good. Happy to be here as always. There is a lot to talk about, like I said. We'll get to that. Kevin Downey Jr. will have some news. Slick will have some sports. We'll get to a bunch of stuff. A lot of clips today to get to. A lot of stuff in the news. It's kind of what we talked about. Kevin, you weren't here, obviously. Yesterday, we were talking about Trump's press conference and his move to take over D.C. And we've basically seen exactly what we said we were going to see for the last 24, 36 hours, whatever it is that the Democrats now actually embracing D.C. crime to make it out that it's, again, there's like a three-step process that they're all going to go through. Claim that it doesn't exist. And then when that becomes untenable, then it's like, well, maybe it exists, but not to the degree he says.
Right, yeah.
And then after that doesn't work and they realize people are on to what's really going on, they just they don't want to talk about it anymore. They try to avoid it. On to the next thing. So right now we're still at stage one, which is all of these people running to the media to tell us how great it is in D.C. and that the crime is not what we all know it is, that the numbers are not being fudged, that we know they are. People under investigation for doing that exact thing. And, of course, the Democrats, statehood for D.C. and all the typical responses that you would expect from them. Meanwhile, of course, D.C. is D.C. because the founders said, we need a place that's like a little enclave where the feds can be in charge, that we're going to have our House and Senate and Congress and president and elected officials here. And, of course, there wasn't a lot of, people have now moved into D.C., obviously, over the last 50, 70 years, whatever it is. But D.C. obviously was never meant. Originally, it was meant to be a little carve-out for the federal government. And so all this yelling about D.C. statehood, and I mean, President Trump is doing exactly what he thinks is necessary to return the nation's capital to something that, as citizens, we can be proud of. The crime is out of control. When you actually look at the numbers, if it was a state, it would have the highest murder rate in the country, I believe, is what I read. So it's a total disaster. Anybody with an IQ higher than a teapot knows it's a disaster. Trump understands that. And by the way, he's fully supported, I would say, by 100% of law enforcement there, because the law enforcement there really just wants to go do their job. Turn us loose. Let us actually go be cops. And the feds will, do what they do. So he's fully supported by law enforcement. But I'll tell you this, and maybe they won't admit it, I'll bet you he's fully supported by the people who spend a lot of time there. Even the left-wing media. Because when they get done with their little hits on from the studio for MSNBC, trashing him, they privately don't want to walk to their car if it's more than about 3 blocks in the middle of the night. Guaranteed. Right?
Yeah. Remember Sotomayor's Secret Service guys tried to ventilate someone who was trying to rip off their car or something like that. I think one of Joe Biden's granddaughters had trouble with, and her Secret Service was shooting at someone. Folks, I grew up in Detroit, and I'm here to tell you, man, when I'm in D.C., I lock the doors, and I drive faster just to get to where I'm going because it's that bad. And that's coming from Detroit right here. I am much more comfortable in the crappiest part of Detroit than I could be in the crappiest part of D.C., maybe just because I know my way out. But holy moly. The funny part, though, is they're actually singing a song today. Don't go away.
No. Do we have the tape?
I don't know.
Oh.
Where were they singing this?
I think it was outside the White House. Outside the White House. We want Trump
downtown D.C.
Reminds me of when I would watch Cops. And they'd pull into a trailer park and some creeps beating the potato salad out of his wife. The cops jump on the guy.
Boys, what you gonna do?
The cops jump on the guy, and then the woman goes, "Leave him alone! Leave him alone! Let him go!" That's what they remind me of.
Yeah.
Let DC kill some more of us.
Hey, Kevin, you do that very good.
And what's semi-amusing, I mean, none of it's really funny, but it is kind of humorous that Democrats just absolute how phony they are on the whole subject. And all of these people run into the media to talk about how crime's not a problem. It's never really been a problem. There's only been a few moments of problems. Maybe there wasn't one uptick. I mean, I've heard it all today. Well, let's go back to one of their own. Back in 1992, if you remember this speech from the floor of the Senate. Well, it would probably work better if you could hear it, but I guess you can't hear it. So, no audio. Okay. Well, that, of course,
Is there a pen?
Is there what?
Is there a pen? Auto pen.
Yeah, I don't know if there's an auto pen, but let's see if this works here with Joe. Oh, well, now what did I do?
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I can't get it right. This is just ridiculous. All right, here we go. Joe Biden, 1992.
Driving home, my staff who lives here in the Hill reminded me, don't stop at a stoplight until I'm out of town. If I see a red light late at night, since there's very little traffic, slow up at the other block so I never come to a full stop except in the middle of the block because of carjackings. Stopping at a light, people standing at a corner, walking up with a gun.
Uh-huh. That was 1992, talking about D.C.
Oh,
it's not. What's Trump doing? It's not a problem. What did this guy do about it? He was president for 4 years. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And him and his ilk and his party, quite frankly, don't care if you get carjacked. They did nothing about it. They don't see any problems.
You know, here's the real danger here, I think, Big D. If Trump can clean up D.C. in 6 months, it's going to make the Democrats look like the bozos we know they are.
Yep.
Because it could have been done at any time. And I predict, we already saw this one lady saying, how come it's the black neighborhoods that's just so dangerous he's worried about? Well, that's where the crime is. That's where the crime is, lady. And she said, well, what about walking around Georgetown? You don't see cops. Well, the cops go where the crime is. So they're going to call Trump a racist no matter what, even though he's the only person, only president I can think of that said, we better clean up D.C. A lot of people are getting killed here, and a vast majority of them are from the black community. So, but somehow saving black lives will actually make Trump a racist to these morons who just can't help themselves. They gotta find something. Oh, now he's saving black people. He's still a racist, and they're going to ride this until his term is over. Every time they open their mouths, they just look dumber and dumber. And every time they do, one more normie goes, you know what? I think I'm done with these idiots. So I say let them talk.
Yeah. And what did Rudy Giuliani tell us when he was on this show? Of course, he told us right after telling us that Joe Biden was the dumbest person he'd ever met.
That was great. I bet.
He told us that there was no other demographic more than black mothers who used to come up to him as when he was mayor and say, "Mr. Mayor, we're not afraid of the police. We want more police. We don't want less police. We want more police. Don't let people tell you that we want less police, that we love these gangbangers running around our neighborhood, because we don't."
Absolutely. The whole let's get rid of the cops thing, that comes from BLM. It's started by two women who they admit that they are trained Marxists. All right. What do Marxists want to do? They want to get rid of the cops, defund them. They want cashless bail. They want to keep chaos and violence on the streets. That's why the big blue toilet towns have been ghettos for coming up on 100 years, some of them, because that was always the plan. All right. I know that. So Milwaukee hasn't had a Republican mayor since 1908, but they have had two socialists in that time. So we know they've been working on that city for since 1908, if not sooner. But this is the plan, folks. Keep the big cities dangerous, because Marxism needs chaos and violence to scare people. Otherwise, it'll never set in. You can't have communism without a terrified public.
2023, to Kevin's point just a few minutes ago, again, during the Biden administration, let me remind you of this.
Secret Service opening fire to protect President Biden's granddaughter. Peter?
Yes, the carjacking and car stealing problem in Washington, D.C. has now extended to somebody with Secret Service protection.
Oh.
At 11:58 p.m. last night in Georgetown, which is about a mile and a half from where we're standing right now, Secret Service officers who are assigned to protect Naomi Biden, that's President Biden's granddaughter, Hunter Biden's daughter, opened fire at three people who were trying to steal one of the Secret Service vehicles. We don't know exactly what kind of a car this was, but according to the Secret Service,
it's not a problem in D.C., and I'll tell Trump there's no problems here.
Who just sent us a statement, Secret Service agents encountered possibly three individuals breaking a window on a parked and unoccupied government vehicle. During the encounter, a federal agent discharged a service weapon, and it is believed no one was struck. The offenders immediately fled the scene in a red vehicle, and a regional lookout was issued to supporting units. That means that somebody tried to steal a Secret Service car from the agents that were protecting the president's granddaughter, and they got away. They're still out there this morning. Back to you.
Yeah. No, there's no problems down here. Great. Everybody is overreacting. All right, 13 past the hour. Just getting started. Hour one, live from Studio 6B. Slick's got some sports. We'll do some news. Yeah. Kevin Downey Jr. as well. We get back right after this.
Okay, I think we had a super chat in the YouTube's Big D. See if I can find it. There it is. We got Carlton Robinson. Thank you. $5 super chat. I swear liberals are completely out of touch with reality. It's as though they never evolved emotionally and intellectually beyond 12 years of age.
Did you survive?
Thank you.
I wonder if that's Carlton from Michigan. Patriot Carlton.
Oh, is his last name Robinson? Carlton Robinson.
I don't know.
He doesn't say he's from Michigan. He says they don't age beyond 12 years old. I think he's right on target. That's about the age of most of the libs that I run into.
What's going on, Jinx? Like on X. Big D hits X on occasion. Maybe he'll see us tonight. What does that mean? I see you every
Slick
night.
Look like brothers tonight. God bless. Man, tell him I said that.
There you go.
I'll need a better suit.
Farmer Brooke in the chat on X. The real Bruce Lee on X. Maybe Damon will notice us tonight. What?
Oh, there is a few people you ignore in the chat. They get very upset with you.
That's a vicious lie. Farmer was talking trash about you, Damon? Okay.
Oh, Spy Trail gave us the green light.
good.
Huh? Let's go. Come on. Big
I like
D.
that. What was he saying? Okay, Vin's good.
Oh, good.
Update on Vin. Says its surgery took a little longer than it was supposed to, but he's home recovering and he's good.
Wow.
Hard to move right now, he said. Let me add a couple things here. I hope it's hard to sing right now too, and I hope that carries on and play the piano too. You should stay away from both.
After that surgery, Big D. After that surgery, he may be hit the high notes.
Yeah.
He may be singing soprano or falsetto.
Let's see what he says to that.
He's going to say,
Mallory Klondike says, "Prove you love us, Damon. Mention Facebook."
oh. Well, Facebook.
Well, usually Vin is on Facebook like nonstop, so I don't usually worry about the Facebook audience because I know Vin is on it. So we try to delegate here on who's. I can't cover all of them.
Didn't somebody say in Facebook the other night they don't like noisy eaters when we were doing the back thing, Pat chat, and Big D's like, that's it.
Yeah.
Goodbye. They can piss you
Damon,
off.
when are we doing odds makers? Well, we're doing odds makers.
Probably next weekend. Not
Yeah.
this weekend. Next weekend we got to.
All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night, August 12th. Slick's going to do some sports. Kevin Downey Jr. is going to do some news. I got some topics as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down. Vinnie Mac's not here because he had hernia surgery today, and I just checked in with him, and he says he's good. Took a little longer than expected, but he's good, and he's home recovering, and he made it. And he says it's hard to move right now, so I don't know if he's watching the show, but he's hopefully lying in place. And I said, well, I hope it's hard to sing right now, too, and play the piano, because you should stay away from doing both of those things for a while. And he responded by saying, actually, my voice, such an idiot. He said, my voice actually may have gotten better. It went up an octave.
I told you.
And my fingers are more nimble now than ever.
Wow.
Right now, it would just be hard to press the sustain pedal on the piano, so that's his only concern.
Okay.
But his singing...
He should sustain from singing.
Exactly.
Nah, Vinny sounds great. I love him.
He doesn't. No,
he does a good Benning in the Jets. I'm encouraging him.
Slick. He doesn't sound great.
Come on.
He
We're
doesn't
going to do
sound
Michael
great at all.
Jackson next week.
So. Now, people in the chat are already taking issue with Vinny, calling that he should change his names to Viniessa, given that he's complaining about hernia surgeries. Everybody's saying that it just should be a piece of cake.
Oh, that's rough.
So, I don't know. Maybe Vin's being a little bit of a wuss here. I don't know. Doesn't sound like it to me.
I think Facebook will let him know.
Okay. So, I don't know. So, but Vinny will be back, I hope, on Thursday and certainly
really?
on Friday. 18 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by our friend Mike Lindell. You want to shop at MyPillow? They've got great stuff. I just got a bunch of it for my son going to college. For your bedding, if you want to get a good night's sleep, you got to be sleeping on a pillow, maybe a mattress topper, and maybe a mattress. They got all three. I mean, you can put the whole deal together there. Use code LFS6B. It'll save you a ridiculous amount. I don't even know how they do it, but it'd save you 50, 60% off most items if you want to shop at MyPillow. And we're going to do another giveaway coming up here soon, too, for people who shop at MyPillow and Eternal Life Coin, who both sponsor the sports and news on this program. But right now, let's do some sports. Slickster, what's going on?
Well, for your son, when you bought the sheets, did they have the toga party collection for college or no?
No. He had sheets. We didn't do sheets. We just did mattress topper,
Okay.
Mattress something or else other, and a couple pillows. So.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a thought for maybe for the holidays.
Yeah. This is a good Catholic school, Slick. There's going to be no toga parties and nothing going on. No funny business here. At least
No
that
fun.
I'm going to know of. Yeah.
No fun. Kind of like being on the set. Okay. Come on.
That's a vicious lie.
That's
You have more fun in these 2 hours than you have any time in the rest of your day.
We have coffee
Admit
creamer,
it
baby.
now, or I'll
Coffee
beat it
creamer
out
in the
of you.
house, Big D. Caramel macchiato. We got coffee creamer. That's all that matters.
Yes.
All right, let's go to the baseball diamond. Big news tonight, too, in New York. Here we go. Mariners over the Orioles, 1-0, bottom of the 7th. In a rain delay, the Reds are beating the Phillies, 6-0. Of course, it's in a rain delay. The Marlins and Guardians tied at 3 in the top of the 6th. Yankees, 4-1 over the Twins, top of the 4th. Bottom 4 up in Toronto. Blue Jays, 1-0 over the Cubs. And my good friend, Matt Miller, friend of the show, Matt comes to the show. He sent me a text a few minutes ago that he was watching the New York Met game, and what do you know? Pete Alonso hit his 253rd career homer in the 3rd inning to pass Darryl Strawberry, great Mets legend, for the all-time home run lead record for the Mets. So that's fantastic. So thank you for that, Matt, that update. And Mets right now leading the Braves 5-3, top of the 4th. And congratulations, Pete Alonso, great New York Met player.
I thought the Mets were pretty much all dead and out of it because Frank the Tank's been telling me that this team sucks. They have no heart. They have no nothing. And that's it. They're not going to win another game their whole year.
They're still in the wild card race. Well, no. Listen, they expect that team to win the East, right, or be right on top. They are still in the wild card race, Big D. They're in there. Cincinnati's still in there. They'll never make it. But they're just on the outside looking in. So I don't blame Frank the Tank for being annoyed, but I got to tell you, they're still in the mix. Pirates right now trail the Brewers 1-0, bottom 3. Royals 1-0 over the Nationals, bottom of the 3rd. Delayed, top of the 1st. Rockies and Cardinals trying to get it on there with a little rain. Diamondbacks and Rangers, no score, top of the 2nd, bottom 1st. Red Sox and Astros, also no score. Dodgers taking on the Angels, 9:38, 9:45. Padres are in San Francisco to beat the Giants. And Rays and the Athletics. Athletics winding down this season in Oakland at 10:05 tonight. That game will be the first pitch. Want to get to a story? Well, this is a good one here, Big D. Dana White confirms UFC's July 4th White House fight card is absolutely going to happen.
Come on, let's get it on.
Look out now. They got fresh off a big $7.7 billion deal, right, Big D? He's excited. So here we go. UFC President Dana White told CBS Mornings on Tuesday that the highly anticipated UFC 4th of July fight card at the White House in 2026 is going forward. When he called me and asked me to do it, he said, I want Ivanka in the middle of this, White said. So Ivanka reached out to me and I started talking about the possibilities, where it would be, and, I put together all the renderings. The confirmation of next year's Independence Day brawl at the White House is the second piece of big news for the UFC in as many days. On Monday, it was learned that the UFC inked a $7.7 billion streaming deal with Paramount. We talked about that. I don't know if there's a better way, White said, when talking about all the modern changes in how fights are broadcast. There are so many disruptors in the world right now. Who would have thought taxi cabs would disappear or Cablevision would start to go away, right? White says that pay-per-view still has its place, but streaming services offer a way to reach broader audiences, like you said last night, Big D. Live sports, you have to watch live, you have to tune in. It's a destination to watch, he said. Sports are a big deal to these streaming services. While many fighters, including recently retired UFC heavyweight legend John Jones, have lobbied to be on next year's 4th of July White House card, no fighters have officially been announced. Who are you taking, Big D, on that? Who do you think they're going to announce? I know it's what is it, almost a year away, so you got to see who's...
Jones Aspinall has to happen.
That's a great fight.
McGregor. I don't know who McGregor.
Anybody.
I don't know if they'll go back to what's his name, Chandler. I think Chandler's going to be gone and done by me. I don't know. I don't know, but I think McGregor would have to be on there too. Aspinall and Jones.
Yeah.
Duplessis fighting this weekend up against Chimaev. That's a monster fight.
And the ladies too. We got to get a ladies fight in there as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. There's plenty. I mean, the UFC's never been more well-rounded as far as putting great fights together. They can put plenty of great fights together.
But John Jones would be big. And that's a wrap in sports, Big D. Back to you.
All right, Slick, very good. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell, LFS6B is the promo code to use. I saw someone in the chat said Vinny's got a hernia from carrying Damon since 2015.
That's from downtown.
That's a good point. Absolutely could have contributed to it, especially. Well, I don't know. No, that's not true.
He took a few years off.
Yeah, I've been doing this since 2015. Vinny was like, I got to go, decompress.
I think Delgado and I have more time in on the show at this point.
I think you're about the same. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So everybody's been about equal. So, all right, let's do a little news, then we'll do some more when we get back. Kevin Downey Jr. is the host of the Kevin Downey Jr. Show. Mr. Downey Jr., what's on your mind?
Oh, man, thank you, Big D. I got a ton of stuff. Look at this. So Commie Mom Downey, he's the guy that wants to run New York City. He's a communist. He's pretending he's not, but he is. And, well, folks, look what he wants to do. He's been talking about having social workers show up to various crime scenes. And the two he's focusing on lately would be domestic violence and hate crimes. And I wrote about this at PJ Media. You can go read about it if you want. And I would urge you to do so later on, unless you're driving, of course, because the more you read, the more bourbon I get to buy. And look at this. What do you know? He wants his social workers to, and this goes back to the 45 goals of communism, transfer some of the powers of arrest from the police to social agencies, treat all behavioral problems as psychiatric disorders, which no one but psychiatrists can understand or treat. Followed by number 39, dominate the psychiatric profession and use mental health laws as a means of gaining coercive control over those who oppose communist goals. So Mom Downey here, he wants his social workers, he's going to take the money from the cops. He's going to need only $600 million. He's going to take that from the cops when he lays off a bunch. And he wants them to go after domestic abuse and hate crimes. Why? Well, because Muslim men are known to beat the potato salad out of their wives and to beat up Jewish people. I can see it right now. He's going to make hate crimes disappear when it comes to his religion, terrorizing Jews, if he takes over New York City.
We'll talk more about this. I want to talk about how we got here, too. Where a guy like this, who would have been considered completely fringe, can win primaries in major cities. We'll talk about all of that when we get back, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday.
I focus on the YouTube chat now. Trying to grow that, but just kind of stuck at that 12 to 14. Bill Moore said that Delgado's with Vinny feeding him Skinny Pop. I don't know about that one. In the YouTube.
Delgado's at a basketball game. He's not with Vin.
So he says.
Real Bruce Lee. Damon, how do I sign up for the odds makers? What are we going to do, Aaron? We're going to take emails, people who want to. Okay, so yeah, we'll do a random number generator once everybody is assigned a number. Once we have everybody who wants to participate. So, if you want to participate in the odds makers this year, whether it's college or pro,
Right.
just send us an email, lfs6b@yahoo.com. And put odds makers in the subject so we know, because there's too many emails
Oh,
to
we get a
try to go
million-
through. So
million
at least they'll
emails.
stick out. Odds makers in the subject line. And then just give us your name and contact, and Aaron will, or someone will contact you if you are chosen.
And your gambling candy. Give us your gambling handicap as well.
Yeah, give us how much you're up or down in the last 2 years at your sports book.
The more you're down, the better chances you got. We love that. Oh, we're going to do that. We're going to be doing it at the live at the show.
Yeah.
At America's First Warehouse. That's going to be wild. America First Warehouse. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Friday night. Maybe they'll come. That'd be nice if the guests could come down. You do it right on the mic, Big D. Do their picks right in the audience. Never know. We could make that a requirement, couldn't we?
All right, Kev, you want to do a couple things here?
Sure.
Then we'll talk about Mandami a little more and how we got here.
Yep.
What do you call him? Monkami?
Kami Mom Donnie.
Oh, yeah. Kami Monkami. That's a good one. Get it.
30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night, August 12th. Slicks here is doing sports. Kevin Downey Jr. is doing the news. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. We're always appreciate you giving us a few hours of your weekday nights, 8 to 10, right here on Real America's Voice. Make sure you follow Real America's Voice on all their social media at Real AM Voice. And make sure you follow us at LFS6B pretty much everywhere. Instagram, LFS6B Show is the only one that's really different. We'll get back to sports, but we were doing the news. And Kevin Downey Jr. is here. He's the host of the Kevin Downey Jr. Show. And he's doing the news. Let's do a little more. Kev, what's going on?
Well, this is sort of related, Big D, to what I was talking about, Kami Mandani, using a couple of the 45 goals of communism for America. Well, look at this. Illinois just created a law that all kids must get a mental evaluation every year. And what do you know, the school is they're going to create the evaluation. They're going to decide how it goes, and they're going to read it. And again, remember, the Marxists want to take over the mental health industry. So now the schools, which they already own, are now coming up with a mental health test for your kid that he's going to have to take every day, or every year. He or she's going to have to take every year. And, well, what are they looking for? Well, they're looking to keep kids from getting anxious and whatnot. I don't think so. I've never seen a rule come out of the mouth of a Marxist that was intended to do good. Remember, tyranny comes disguised as virtue. They're going to train your kid, they're going to brainwash your kid, and then they're going to mentally evaluate your kid. And if your kid isn't the kid that they want they want them to be, well, being the mental health experts they are, they're going to come up with some cures for your child that probably involves, Marxist summer school or something like that. And that comes down to, of course, let's not forget more of the 45 goals of communism. This, of course, from Governor, I call him Planet Pritzker. He's the salad dodger running Illinois. I call him Planet Pritzker. If you go near him, you'll start to orbit him. Don't worry about that. You can't get sucked in. Look at this, 45 goals. Number 40, discredit the family as an institution. And number 41, emphasize the need to raise children away from the negative influence of parents, i.e., people that hate Marxism. So you watch, folks. They're going to use their mental health laws to decide who goes to a camp and who doesn't. And this is spreading. We're going to see a lot of this. I've been talking about this on the radio all week. You can listen tomorrow, 9 to 11 a.m. Just go to LI for Long Island, linewsradio.com, and you can hear it there. You can get the app, whatever you want. And now I've got more disturbing stuff. This, of course, would be from Washington State. They have something called the Keeping Families Together Act. And what that means is, let's say you're a drug addict. They're not going to take your kids away. They're okay with that. And they're trying to keep those kids in the home. Well, a bunch of those kids have died, sadly. Look at this. Between April and June 2025, they had 45 children die or almost die. Two fewer than the already alarming 47 cases in the first quarter. And why is this happening? Well, a bunch of kids OD'd on fentanyl. Look at that. OD'd on fentanyl. You know what? Once upon a time, now, don't get me wrong, I know it's usually hard to take kids away, and I understand why it is. But as this is going on, well, I wrote about this at PJ. They took a child from his parents. They were Christians. He was suddenly a woman, and they didn't understand what that meant, and they didn't use the proper pronouns. So the state of Indiana, that's a red state, they took him away, put him in foster care until he was 18 and he aged out. And in Montana, another blood red state, they took a young girl whom they had diagnosed as being starved for attention and a strong need to feel victimhood. Well, what do you know? All the trans bobs tend to do that. Well, the parents said, no, she's just going through a phase, and the state took her kid, just took it away. But the Marxists will leave kids with poor people who are, or anyone who has drugs around. You know why they won't take them away? They don't need those kids. Those kids are bought and paid for, all right? When you're in the system, when you get your money, your food, your clothing, your health care from the state, they own you, all right? So remember, folks, whatever's going on, these are like guns. These are like guns. They're not taking guns from the dangerous people. They want your guns. Now they want your kids. That's all this is about. Nothing here but control. I see it everywhere, and I hope I'm not the crazy guy in the tinfoil hat going, does anyone else see this? But it's clear as day to me. If you're a drug addict, I'll let you keep your kid because you're not the target. But if you're a Christian and your son says, "Hey, Dad, instead of calling me Carl, call me Carla," and I'm going to just snip off, and then take him away. If the parents won't play along, take him away. They took a 14-year-old girl away from her grandparents who had adopted her in Maryland. The school convinced her. One teacher and one counselor said, "You're a boy. Come on, change your name." And she was ridiculed, so she ran away. And about, 12 weeks and 8 sexual assaults later, she finally made it back home. But the court wouldn't let her go with her grandparents because the grandfather had never even heard of transgender, had no idea. So why would you tell me to call my granddaughter him? And so put him into a halfway house for wayward boys. What do you think happened there? Well, gang rapes. Gang rapes, that's what happened. Folks, they're coming after your guns. They're coming after your kids. Don't be fooled. This has nothing to do with being nice to drug addicts and trying to keep their family with them.
You know, to the broader point of all of this is what we're seeing, and specifically getting back to the mayoral race here in New York City. I read what I think is one of the better columns I've ever read on kind of like what is going on right now in the world in some of these blue cities, and this Mondami guy, what's going on, and there's this woman out in Illinois, I believe it is, another radical Islamist, and of course you see them all over. Obviously we have AOC and the Squad and all of them. But Kim Scheinbaum, she's a professor of politics over at Rutgers Camden campus. She has a piece today in the American Thinker entitled "Radicalism Rebranded. Is New York City's Mondami moment America's problem?" And we've talked about so many of these subjects over the year on this show. And the question she asks, and she opens her article by saying, many of us Americans are now asking how we got here. How have we reached a point in this country where just pure lawlessness, anti-Americanism, and open sympathy for terrorists are not only tolerated, but celebrated? And where mayoral candidates like this guy in New York, who would have once been considered fringe radicals, can win primaries in a major city? And the answer is, since the 1960s, the United States has undergone one of the most dramatic political rebrandings in modern history, particularly on the left. The 60s radicals never disappeared. Their ideas, once considered extreme, have not only resurfaced, but most importantly, they have now been rebranded. Today, extremism is marketed to the new generation as compassionate, inclusive, enlightened, marching under the progressive banner, and embraced by a growing block of post-9/11 college-educated voters. However, while the rhetoric has softened, and of course we talk about language and their use and their ownership of the language all the time, you talk about it a lot as well.
I do.
The underlying ideology and its mission remains unchanged. The label progressive is itself a branding triumph for the left. It wraps radical demands in the soft language of European-style social democracy. But the resemblance is misleading. Unlike Europe's social democratic parties, which operate comfortably within free market economies and they reject Marxist class conflict, the American progressive left is anti-capitalist and embraces identity-based Marxism, recasting social conflict in terms of race, ethnicity, and gender. Today, that rebranding is no longer confined to universities or activist circles. It is shaping our electoral outcomes in this country. The rise is not an aberration, but the culmination of a movement that has been decades in the making. You think back to the 1960s, and Kev, I'm sure you remember some of these groups. Slick, I'm sure you will too. Students for a Democratic Society, the Weather Underground, the Black Panthers, openly calling for the dismantling of America's political and cultural framework back then. Their rhetoric, violent, confrontational, contemptuous of American identity? Well, it alienated the public. The left learned a crucial lesson then. They could not win by storming the gates. To succeed, they would need to exchange the vocabulary of revolution for the language of compassion, justice, and human rights. And that's exactly what they have done. They have exchanged the vocabulary of revolution for the language of compassion, justice, and human rights. Everything they do, what do we hear? It's for the greater good. It's for the, right?
Everything. Tyranny comes disguised as virtue. Keep in mind, folks, in 2015, gay people got the right to get married. And what happened right after that? Well, these poor trans imbibobs, where are they going to go to the bathroom without getting beaten up? Well, we went from that to we're taking your kid away if you don't use the pronouns that he tells you to. That's there's nothing there but tyranny. There's no such thing as reproductive rights. It's abortion. All right. There's no such thing as transgender youth health care. It's mangling the genitals of someone who's too young to decide they want to do that. But they're always going to do that because if you control the language, you control the narrative. Don't let them. Don't let them do it. Now, that's why, and now, it just makes me mad when I see the New York Post. It steams my clams. New York Post, transgender person, and she said, no, it's not a she, it's a he. Don't play with them. Don't even give them that. You can't do that. You can't let them control the narrative. And always look, Marxism will always come as something good for the people, and it's never good for the people. It's always 100 million dead people later on.
Yeah, and what you just said is the key point. Not only have they refined the message, they've taken over the language, and they've created a situation where words that once triggered alarm have now been replaced with language that sounds, about moral and inclusive and inclusivity. And it was more than just semantics. It's reframed the debate over what America is and what America should be. Policies once seen as dangerous gain legitimacy by being rebranded as moral necessities from the left. Over the next several decades, the radicals and their ideological heirs shifted the battleground from the streets, and this is where they've really done their damage, to the lecture halls, the newsroom, the school board meetings, and now to City Hall.
100%. And another thing they've done with the language, folks, if you don't agree with us, you're a racist. They'll find a way. Look, Trump is saving black lives, and they're calling him a racist. Now, that due to something called semantic satiation, that means you use a word or phrase too much that it doesn't mean anything, that little weapon is going away. But they also weaponize those words. I was reading an interview with a woman, and they said, why in God's name did you let a doctor carve your daughter's breast out when she was 15? And she said, I was afraid they'd call me transphobic. She was afraid of a word. They're using words against us.
All right, more on this very important subject. More news, more sports, all coming up. 17 till the hour, live from Studio 6B.
Crown they would with victimhood from new shining sea.
Hold on. Chat.
Did you guys cover Schiff and his whistleblower?
A little bit, but we can cover it more. I want to actually cover it more because I think people are missing
Last night.
some of the point on him. So yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
You got a story on it?
Just that a career intelligence officer who worked for the Democrats, someone like on their side.
Yeah, it was a whistleblower. John Solomon broke it last night. So let's talk. We can talk about that.
Yep, that's where I was reading it from.
Yeah.
I like that guy.
Oh, I love John. I haven't seen him in a while. Best. Best.
David,
Again, if you want to be a part of the odds makers, send us an email with the odds makers in the subject line and just give us your name and contact info so we can contact you if you get selected. And we'll pick, what do we got, 18 weeks, 17 weeks?
Yeah.
17 weeks of the regular season.
17. You have 18 weeks, right? Because every team gets a bye. So you have 18
we'll pick
weeks.
18, we'll pick 18 people to join us on Fridays for the odds makers.
18 weeks.
And we've done it now a year, so everybody should know how it works.
Somebody in the chat said he is willing. He just put it in the chat. He was willing to drive up and do it live on the air. His odds maker pick on Friday night.
And Patriot Sherry loves that color on you, Damon.
What?
Patriot Sherry loves that color in that shirt on you.
Oh, wow.
Thank you very much.
She's going to send you a shower curtain that color.
Sorry?
She's going to send you a shower curtain that color. Seafoam green, baby.
I don't have a shower that has a shower curtain in my house.
No.
All glass doors.
No, me too. I have glass doors, too.
Yeah.
I have a curtain because I'm poor.
Live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night, August 12th, Real America's Voice. Glad you're in. Slick's going to do some more sports here coming up right now. Kevin Downey Jr. is going to do some more news. Aaron and Fran holding it down on a Tuesday. We were talking in the break about the odds makers. Our new odds maker season is going to start when we start picking the games again.
Yeah.
And it'll be Slick versus Aaron versus me versus the audience.
Oh, you're picking too, huh?
Oh, boy.
Well, yes, I'm picking two. What does that mean?
I love it. No, that's good. The more the merrier.
It's not good for you or Aaron, but it's good for me.
That's a statement.
I'm sorry?
Nothing.
What place did you come in last year?
Yeah, right.
I think first.
Get out of here. Aaron came in first. I think I came in
Aaron
second.
came in first?
And you
Yeah.
came in like third or fourth.
No.
I'll rewind the tape.
Come on.
Okay, that's what,
I think-
roll the tape. Well, it doesn't matter. Who cares? I don't live in the past. I live in the
know.
future.
Yeah, I know you don't. I know you don't. You don't know your history.
Can they hear Aaron's creepy laugh?
Yeah, they can hear Aaron.
Okay,
She's
good.
on air. She should have him open mic the whole time, but they just don't want to listen to me on it. So, 12 minutes till the hour. Let's do some sports. I forgot who it's. Sports is brought to you by Mike. Well, I'm
Lindell.
old, Slick. Don't look at me like that.
Mike.
Yes, it's
You
sponsored
know.
by Mike Lindell.
3 sheets to the window here.
LFS6B is the promo code to use. And Slick's got it. What's going on, Slickster?
It's in that coffee.
Nothing. It's decaf.
Exactly.
As you excoriated before out in the kitchen.
Come on.
Drinking
Why-
decaf?
It's like having a mocktail. What's the point? I'm mocking you right now. No. Italian athlete found dead during China World Games competition.
That's kind of a tough.
Yeah, this is
I'm
Breitbart
laughing
London.
while you're saying the guy's dead. I'm not
Well,
laughing at that. I'm laughing
no.
at. Yeah.
Absolutely not. AFP, Italian orienteering athlete Mattia Di Bertolis died on Tuesday after being found unresponsive during competition at the World Games in China's Chengdu, organizers said. The 29-year-old was discovered unconscious during an orienteering event on August 8th and died 4 days later, said a joint statement from the World Games organizers and the International Orienteering Foundation, the IOF. The World's Game is a multi-sport event held every 4 years for disciplines not included in the Olympics. Despite receiving immediate expert medical care at one of China's leading medical institutions, he passed away, the statement said. It did not provide details on the cause of death. Surprise there. The event took place in intense heat and humidity with temperatures above Well, it says 30 degrees, which I mean, obviously that's Celsius. So, orienteering sees athletes navigate an unmarked course with a map and compass, punching in at designated spots along the route in the quickest time. Di Bertolis from Primero in eastern Italy was taking part in the final of the men's middle distance, the first medal events of the game. The 6-kilometer course featured 180 meters of ascent and 20 control points that athletes must visit. Footage from the World Games social media accounts showed athletes running through crop fields and villages on a largely rural course. The winner, Switzerland's Riccardo Rancon, completed the course in 45 minutes and 22 seconds. Di Bertolis was listed as did not finish in official results, along with 11 other athletes. Black armbands were obviously issued.
Did not finish?
Yeah.
Well, yes, being dead would make you hard to finish.
Well, they
That's
wanted,
what they labeled it as, DNF?
Exactly. They wanted they document everything in China, apparently. Di Bertolis' family had agreed that athletes will be able to participate in the competitions in Mattia's name and memory. So this happened a few days ago, but just very sad. Something to keep an eye on, what's going on there. This is the 12th edition of the World Games, and it runs until August 17th, with approximately 4,000 athletes competing in 253 events. So World Games, we'll keep an eye on that in China. I mean, who knows what that could lead to, but hopefully it was just an isolated incident. The gentleman either had heat exhaustion or something along those lines.
Well, I think that's like 86 degrees, so it's not that hot.
It's not that crazy. Yeah,
No.
that's the conversion? Okay.
I don't know, 85, 86, something like that, I think.
Yeah. Oh, the humidity, who knows? Clay Travis, Stephen A. Smith set for debate at Front Office Sports Media Summit. Travis and Smith will face off at Tuned In on September 16th. I should be going to this, Big D. Outkick founder Clay Travis and ESPN's Stephen A. Smith are set to take the stage together for a debate during Front Office's Tuned In Sports Summit this September in New York City. Travis and Smith will be among the 14 total sports figures and commentators who will drive moderated discussions on the world of sports and the media space as a whole. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred, as well as ESPN Chairman Jimmy Pitaro are among other notable names set to speak at the summit, which will take place in the Times Center on September 16th.
Wow, that's going to be cool. I
Yeah.
love both of those guys.
That's going to be wild, right? What are they going to debate about?
I love Travis and I love Stephen A.
Yeah, that'll be a very colored, very robust debate. Be a lot of commentary there. The pair will debate contemporary issues where politics had bled into sports and how, it's like my show and my segment, I should say, and how that has had an impact on both themselves and the sports business world that they have occupied for years. Smith and Travis have each welcomed one another on their respective shows in the past, with ESPN personality having Travis on to discuss sports, politics, and culture back in April of 2023. Travis then welcomed Smith on Outkick, the show, that December, and the pair discussed how Smith got his start in the sports industry, family life, woke culture in sports, and even the secrets of success, among other things. So something to definitely tune in on. I'll certainly be reporting on that September 16th, so a little over a month away in New York. It'll be pretty cool. The media landscape really is changing in sports. Look at the deal we saw yesterday, right? $7.7 billion. Streaming is taking over now, as we see even with the show, right? I mean, a lot of what we do is streaming, and it's just changing the whole landscape. I'll be honest with you, though. I still like the hardwired cable when I watch a game, but it's nothing like watching a game and all of a sudden the thing just goes into buffering. And I'm like, what? That happens to me at home. That's annoying. That you never had when it was hardwired.
Well, you need to get better
Wi-Fi.
internet. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It's your fault. It's a you problem.
No, I pay a gazillion dollars. Well, the problem is that they don't have it hardwired. They don't have a hardwire. I think it's got to be hardwired. Yeah, I got no cable underground there. I got to move to a better city. That's a wrap, Big D. Back to sports. Back to you.
All right, Slick, very good. No, I think that'll be good. By the way, Stephen A. just did about an hour and 15 minutes with Mark Levin on his new book. Stephen A. is a closet conservative. I'm telling you right now.
Yes,
I don't care what anybody tells me.
I agree.
He is no Democrat. He is moderately center right, if you ask me. When I watch him ask questions and talk about these things and his willingness to debate and actually talk about the issues, he does it better than most on the left, because I don't think he's on the left, honestly.
And I think he's honest, and that's that. He's honest with his feelings. But I'll tell you, the one thing he loves the most is a Dallas Cowboy loss. That man lives for that. He goes, does a live stream. He's got a huge cigar, like a Groucho Marx cigar, a big glass of bourbon or some kind of cognac, and he just laughs about Jerry and the Cowboys. Thank God he doesn't know who I am, because it would never end between him and you. I'd never get a break when the Cowboys lose. That's a wrap there.
Well, you're not going to get many breaks in the next 18 weeks. I can tell you that from the looks of it.
I have to agree. Not looking good right now.
No.
Nope. Fans are ready to disown the team. That's
Parsons
how bad
is going to be gone. He doesn't want to play there.
No, nobody wants to play there. That's the
Your
problem.
quarterback's contract's been redone about 5 times, which shows he's overpaid.
And we got to suffer 2 more years with that deal before we can do a move. It's
So
terrible.
you're just going to be insufferable for the next 18 weeks, I have to guess.
It's going to be the Lone Star, all right?
Yeah.
I'm going to be the Lone Star.
I hope you make it to Odds Makers on Fridays.
Well, Thursday night, September 4th, opening night, we're going to have to put me in the Harry and the Highway office, right? I'll have to watch the game. You guys will have a camera on me like we did last year. Because you don't want
We
me.
can do that.
You don't want my expletives
Will you
on
actually
here.
wear the Dallas hat again?
I got a Dallas cowboy hat, like a real cowboy hat. It's blocked and everything. Where do you see it? I'm going to wear that.
All right. So we're looking forward to that. That's opening week.
Yep.
And then, again, if you want to be a part of the Odds Makers this year, it keeps getting better every year, and this year will be no exception.
Oh, with the live audience? It's going to be phenomenal.
Send us an email, lfs6b@yahoo.com, lfs6b@yahoo.com. Just put Odds Makers in the line, and then as we get them in, we'll take it, whatever it is, 100, 200, 500, whatever we get. We'll put a number on each person, and then we'll go to the random number generator. Maybe we should do that live on the show, Aaron, so people know we're actually, can see it. We'll pick the 18 numbers and see what numbers and see who it is.
We could do that.
And then if people get scaredy fright and say, oh, no, I don't want to do it, then we'll have backups.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because we had a couple people drop out last year.
And they could tailgate Friday nights, too, now at the warehouse. So it could be a tailgate party.
It's just going to be good.
Emails are flying in already.
We can have our own football.
We're going to have to really think the Odds Makers through and think how we can production-wise make it step it up a little bit. It's going to be so good. All right, we're back. Hour 2 coming up. More news with Kevin Downey Jr. kicks it off when we get back right after this.
For viewers. So Spy Trail said we can do something there.
Yep.
He's on. He's all for it. We should do an event there. We could dress it up. Yeah. Oh, it's big enough. Yeah, you could fit, probably fit. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure. Yeah, we did an event there about a year, not about 9 months ago. That was the only time I really was there, honestly. And we did it with the MacArthur Business Alliance. It was a nice event. We had about 60, 70 people there, and got plenty of room. He's got a nice bar area. He may have, I don't know if he had any fruit over there. Is it still? He was going to do a tasting room, but he was getting some kind of issue with the town. He should come.
You know what? He was asking about that. You want to go tomorrow? I'll go with you if you want. I'm off at 11. I'm not sure. Yeah, you want to do it?
Is he there?
That'd be great. Yeah, both hours.
Let me know what time. I'll try to come too.
All right.
I want to get a bottle of that honey bourbon.
Oh, yeah.
That honey bourbon's off the... Oh, Aaron wants a bottle too. Got to get Aaron a bottle.
Yeah. Yep. Let me make sure he's open.
What time? Oh, okay. Oh, 9 to 11. You know what? I'll be around. I'll be in Holbrook around 11. So text me. Oh, you're going to... Oh, yeah, I'll stop by the show. Fresh it.
Oh, that'd be great.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Hello?
I know. You got one of those get out of jail cards there? I can pull.
All right, so I'm going to be on the Kevin Downey Jr. show tomorrow, 9 to 11.
Oh, maybe I'll dip in. Maybe I'll dip in around. It ends at 11. So
we want to take a lot of phone. We're going to take phone calls from the audience.
Oh yeah, and text messages.
All right, so text messages and phone calls on the Kevin Downey Jr. show tomorrow. Kevin Downey Jr., Big D, and maybe Slick. We'll stop in towards the end.
I'll come in towards the end.
I'll be in for all 2 hours.
Nice. I'm going to wear flip-flops and shorts when I come.
Really? It's great.
I'm not going to do
so
that.
Am I.
I know. I'm not.
Hey, we should all do a night where we dress like someone else.
Slick, you got...
I'll take you, Kevin. I could pull you.
No, that's
too easy.
That's no different.
Way too easy.
Cheating. Cheater.
All right, I'll take you, Big D.
Okay, very good.
Put a car cover over my head.
How about you have to actually wear something of mine? I'll give it to you.
Oh, there you go.
That would look like I was, robbed my father's closet or something when I was 7. No, that would be. I'd wear that. I'd wear that shirt. That's a nice shirt.
Here's the deal. If your TV sounds funny in the evening, you're watching live from Studio 6B.
All right, Joe, thanks. Hour 2, live from Studio 6B, 9 p.m., Real America's Voice. Glad you're in, everybody. Slick's doing sports. He's here. Kevin Downey Jr. sitting in. Rick Delgado's got the night off. Vinnie Mac's got the night off as well. So Kevin's going to do the news here coming up. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. All of our friends in the chat. Welcome on in. Glad you're in. If you're watching on social media, whatever platform you're on, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Trying to build up all the numbers. Really want to get that YouTube number up. It's approaching 20,000. Really want to get it to like 100,000 on YouTube.
Let's go.
So the only way we're going to do that is if everybody likes, shares, subscribe, and share it with your friends. So if you can do that on YouTube, we appreciate it. Lots to do in hour 2. I do want to get back because I do think it's really, really important for people to understand how we got here. When you look at this Mondami guy, looking like he's going to steamroll his way into being the mayor of New York City, which is just, I know there's people who think he's not going to win. And I mean, there's nothing that shows me he's not going to win. I mean, I saw an article in the American Conservative, the American Spectator, entitled "The Madman Cometh," and there's apparently no stopping him. That from the American Spectator today. Scott McKay wrote that. The madman cometh, and there's apparently no stopping him. That's how they feel about it. But this piece today in the American Thinker from Kim Scheinbaum on how the left has rebranded not only its radical views, but the language and how it's affected all sectors of American life at a time where you have guys like this running, and then you have representatives like this. I believe this girl's from Illinois. This, I think, was today. Listen to this.
You have called to abolish ICE. How do we achieve a future that's post-ICE? Mm-hmm.
First of all, what a great question from the moderator. She really put a lot of time into thinking about these questions. How do we get to it? Whatever she just said, post ICE.
Achieve a future. Post-ICE.
What?
How do we achieve a future free of terrorism? By abolishing ICE. ICE is a terrorist organization.
Oh.
It needs to be defunded and it needs to be abolished.
And people clapping for this lunatic.
Terrorist.
People clapping for this lunatic.
Sick.
Who has no idea what it is to be an American, as she was asked that in this interview as well. This is Illinois Democrat Representative Delia Ramirez calling ICE a terrorist organization. And she was also asked, do I have that clip? She was also asked what it means to be an American. She has no idea what it means to be an American. I guess she is an American. She's at least she was born here, from what I understand, but she certainly doesn't talk like she's an American. And so the point is, I don't know how you share a country with these people and views like this. And you have it all over, not only in Congress, federal, state, universities. You see what's going on with these students on campuses? So it's just wild. So I do want to get back to some of that if we can.
Yeah.
And how we came to things like critical race theory and criminal justice reform, all these nice terms that you hear. As Kevin says, they come in the form of making something life better for somebody else and virtue and more virtuous people than, of course, I always say that. The Democrats think the illegals are more virtuous than the citizens. So we'll get into some more of that, but let's do some more news headlines with Kevin Downey Jr., the host of the Kevin Downey Jr. Show. Big breaking news. I will be on the Kevin Downey Jr. Show tomorrow, 9 to 11.
Whoa.
LI News Radio, and you can hear it all over the country if you get the LI News Radio app.
Yeah, you can get the app.
Great station.
Or iHeart too. Doesn't iHeart carry it?
Yep. Look for LI News Radio on iHeart, or just go to your browser, LI News Radio, and it's easy to get. You can't miss it.
Good to have at night, too, if you want to catch us. If you're on the road, you can't watch it on TV.
Yeah.
You can catch us.
We're on Wednesday,
3 nights a
Thursday,
week.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday nights on LI News, 8 to 10. Hopefully, maybe one of these days, 5 nights a week would be great.
Great Patriot station.
Yes, it is. So, Kev, what's going on?
Well, Kathy Hochul, she's a communist governor of New York State here, and she's been making some pretty big mistakes lately, and I think she just made a huge one. She's hitching her wagon to Kami Mamdani, and he is about to kick off on his 5-borough We Hate Trump tour, all right? He's completely ignoring the fact that he's a pinko stinko, that he's a filthy communist, and he wants to run New York City further into the dirt. Folks, it's already bad. I spoke the other day about how, New York City put up these, I don't know what they call them, safe place to shoot up drugs in your arm or something. And there have been drug addicts having sex outside as kids are going to school. This is in East Harlem, in AOC's section. It's all prostitutes and shoplifting. They run into a store, steal a $60 fan, and then run to the curb and sell it for $30. And then they go buy the dopes. Go buy the dopes in the whoas. So, sorry, you can't say that. Remember, they're sex workers. They're changing the language. There's another one. Those aren't prostitutes. Those are sex workers. When I was a kid, when I ever saw a homeless guy, he was a bum. That was mean. Now then he was homeless. Now he's unhoused. And just one more thing before I get back to Kathy Hochul. I just thought of this, Dee. There's a sign on a door at a thrift store in England that says, due to scumbag shoplifters, you'll have to ask for something in a cabinet. And the cops came to him and said, you need to take that sign down. It may be offensive to some. Again, they're controlling the way people speak. Don't pick on their street urchins. Don't pick on their thugs, their animals, their cholos, whatever you want to call them. Those criminals have a reason to be there. But back to Hochul. She's hitching her wagon to this communist guy, and his whole thing now is not about what a pinko he is. It's all about we're not Trump. We hate Trump, but I'll tell you, man, I lived in New York City for a long time, and though they're very liberal, yes, I know, there's also some grit there. And there's also a lot of people who are going to lose a lot of money if this guy gets in. And as, let's say the 3 people sitting here before you today, we live on Long Island, and when New York City sneezes, we catch the cold. When New York City brought in millions of illegal immigrants, guess where a lot of them came? Out here. It's not an accident. Hochul, by signing up with Mamdani, I think she just cut her chances to win. Elise Stefanik is gaining on her. Elise Stefanik, she was trailing. Stefanik was trailing Hochul by 23 points. Now she's trailing by 14. 14 points. Folks, if you look at a map of New York, there's what we call upstate New York. That's pretty much everywhere north of the Bronx, really. But when we say upstate, I mean, a few miles up there, it's all red with pockets of blue. You've got your toilet towns. You've got your Utica, your Albany, your Rochester, and your Buffalo. And sure, they're going to vote Democrat. Everything else, and there are a lot of small towns, everything else up there is all red. I think this sinks Hochul's Bismarck right here. What do you guys think?
Well, I don't know what to think because I actually saw this before I knew you were going to talk about this. I saw this yesterday, and I was stunned by it. And that is the latest poll from Interactive Polls for governor and Hochul's current numbers. She's on the uptick in New York, which is, I mean, again, you take the poll for what it's worth and who it comes from. But Interactive Polls, New York poll for governor, Hochul, 45%, Stefanik 31, not sure 20. But it's not that caught my attention. It's the next one. Hochul approval now 53 to 42. It was 44, 48 in February. She was underwater in February. Now she's 9 points to the 11 points to the positive. Well, how is that possible?
I don't think it is.
It's the same people who are going to elect this Islamist radical in New York City. What is wrong with the people in New York? How is she gaining approval? This is Siena Research. So, yeah, the governor race, Stefanik still trailing 14 points. I mean, that doesn't seem like within even, right now, within even in a reach for her.
You know what, D? I don't think these are right. Remember the New York Times on Election Day 2016 said Hillary has an 85% chance of winning. Folks, I am the left's worst nightmare. I am an uneducated, straight white male. And I drove around the country asking large groups of people who they want to win in a bunch of states. And I called it. I've been calling these races since George Bush's reelection. I knew Trump was going to win. I told everyone which states he was going to win. Nope, stupid comedian. You know what you're talking about. I don't believe these polls, Big D. And, I knew someone who worked at a polling center. She said polls are not meant to tell people what the public is thinking. They're meant to tell the public what they should think. And when she said that, and that was years ago, I never forgot that. I don't believe any of these polls. Remember, folks, they're going to lie and tell you that the liberal is winning. And then a couple days before, the polls are tightening up. No, I don't think they are. I think Hochul is a clown. And I think, talk about an ass goblin. This woman, I think, is going to get really beaten. There's no one happy with her. No one happy with her at all. I don't believe the polls, Big D. I think we're being lied to yet again.
Well, I hope you're right, because every place I read in New York City says the same thing. Siena poll released Tuesday. Other ones released this week show that Hochul has her highest job approval rating in nearly 2.5 years, but that, yes, she's down to a 14-point lead against Stefanik in the governor's race, which I just don't get. I don't see how this woman can be on her numbers can be ascending, given what's happening in New York.
I don't either. I'm looking at a New York Post article from 5 hours ago. It says that Hochul beat Zeldin by 7 points, but 3 weeks before the race, she was up by 11. So that's a pretty substantial amount. I think Stefanik is going to beat Hochul, because I can't find one person that likes what she's doing.
Yeah.
That'd be something.
Well, she absolutely should beat her. It shouldn't even, like you said, the problem, of course, always is New York City and the 8 million voters that are there, because outside of that, it always amazes people, right, when they come to Long Island.
Totally
how red
different.
it is.
Totally.
People don't realize it.
Yep.
Totally.
They're like, oh, you're up there in New York. Why don't you get the hell out of there? Well, yeah we're in New York technically, but we're not in what you think is New York.
No, almost all the local governments are red.
The whole place is red out here. Suffolk County is, and now what Bruce Blakeman is doing in Nassau County.
He's fantastic.
Doing a phenomenal job there as well.
Yep.
It's not at all what you think of when you think of New York, when you think of Manhattan and what's going on there. All right, more sports with Slick coming up. Live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday.
The bourbon there was, exceptional.
I want to try their stuff.
It was exceptional.
They got a vodka too, right? They have
yes.
a vodka that they make.
Maybe even
he does. I didn't. Oh, I did. I did try his.
The bottle that came home with me never came back. So.
They were making some drinks when I was there. They were good. I had a couple of those before I had.
So we're gonna do a show from there, I think.
That'd be nice.
Aaron, what do you think of that?
Love it.
We're gonna bring.
Okay, I know you love it, but are we gonna technically be able to do it?
Yeah, Fran and I were working some stuff out already.
There's bourbon. They're gonna figure it out.
It's possible. We just have to do
Right?
a lot of planning.
Fran says he'll figure it out. There's bourbon.
You guys want
And
to
it'll
come with
probably
us?
take more than just
Bourbon
me and Fran.
vodka.
Either one.
Oh, honey bourbon.
We may have to rent the
no
Sprinter
gin.
van and drive everybody home after that one.
Yeah.
They've got.
I got a good Sprinter van guy too, right over here in Ronkonkoma. That would be fun. That would be a rip. Come on, let's put it together. So you hook up with him? Is he going to be there tomorrow at 11?
Emailing him right now.
Okay.
I'm assuming I have reads here.
Yeah. One. Ow.
Just one?
Yep.
Oh, we have a guest? Oh, cool. I like Shane. Nice. Great planning.
Just got an email from the Patriot Twins up in Massachusetts. Says, hey, KDJ, your Patriot Twins are happy to hear the breaking news that Big D will be on with you tomorrow.
Oh!
And maybe Slick Rick will be listening.
Yeah, I'm going to try to make it over there. If they let me in the airport, if I can clear customs, I'll come in. I know the commissioner, man. He's a good friend of mine. My boy, Rob. Last time I was there, I was KDJ says, come on in. I got to go meet the commissioner. I got to do something with him.
They have a scotch or just a bourbon?
Bourbon, honey bourbon, and a vodka.
Scotch? No, bourbon, honey bourbon.
Yeah, you don't mix scotch in the U.S.
Yeah, you don't do that. Not in the U.S., pal.
So the answer is no.
The answer is no, yes.
I got to stick
Respectfully,
with my Balvenie.
yes. Oh.
Or my Glenfiddich. I sound like the blues. On a Tuesday night, we talked to you about our friends over at Birch Gold. Is the continued divide between Trump and the Federal Reserve putting us behind the curve once again? Well, CPI was out this morning. Pretty good. Little uptick in Supercore, but still pretty good. Can the Fed take the right action at the right time, or are we going to be looking at a potential economic slowdown? And what does this mean for your savings? Well, if you consider diversifying with gold through our friends at the Birch Gold Group, for decades, gold has been viewed as a safe haven in times of economic stagnation, global uncertainty, and high inflation. Birch Gold makes it incredibly easy for you to diversify some of your savings into gold. If you have an IRA or an old 401k and gold, you can convert that into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold. Or you can just buy some gold to keep in your safe. That's not a bad idea either. First, you got to do is get educated. Birch Gold will send you a free information kit on gold. All you have to do is text the word America to the number 989898. Again, text the word America to the number 989898. Consider diversifying a portion of your savings into gold. That way, if the Fed can't stay ahead of the curve for the country, at least you can stay ahead for yourself. So text the word America and send it to the number 989898, and then you'll get your free information kit from Birch Gold right there, and that's a great way to get started and see if it's right for you. 18 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night. Shane Harris from AMAC is going to join us here in a little bit, but right now let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use if you want to shop at MyPillow. All the great stuff that Mike has at MyPillow and at My Store. People forget our code works at mystore.com as well, where you can buy Mike's coffee and all kinds of other great stuff. Works at both. So use it. You get a great savings. LFS6B. Slick's got sports. MyPillow sponsors it. What's going on, Slick?
Well, we got, the training camp in the NFL down in Pittsburgh. We got Aaron's favorite former player there, Aaron Rodgers. Get that cut 4 ready for us, Aaron. This was posted on X by Brooke Pryor. She's an ESPN NFL reporter covering the Pittsburgh Steelers. Aaron Rodgers said after 21 years in the league, he gravitates towards the old heads. Let's take a look at this clip here. Cut 4.
One of the weird things is I'm 21 years in the league, so I'm over there. Who do I know on Jacksonville? I know Heath Farwell, the special teams coach that I played against him. I know Chad Morton, he was with us. And I've met Trevor a few times, so I was kind of looking around going, doing the Joe Biden.
doing Joe
I
Biden.
guess I don't know anybody here, so I'm going to just walk off. And I found Cam and TJ. I was like, let me walk next to him.
So he did the old Joe Biden. He didn't know anybody. I mean, you couldn't put it any better than that.
I did the old Joe Biden walking around and I don't know anybody. I'm walking around aimlessly. Yeah, we get it.
Who's that guy in that outfit? So that was pretty cute, I thought. Anyway, yeah, Aaron Rodgers still got a sense of humor. And he's playing for the Steelers. He's going to need one this year. Anyway, ESPN, Air Force.
What does that mean?
Well, Steelers, they got their own issues. Trust me. They're still looking for a quarterback, and he's not the answer. Not at 48 years old. Big D, here we go. Air Force unveils Air Power Legacy Series uniforms to be worn against Navy. This is Kalen Hooks of ESPN. The Air Force Falcons are soaring to another level with a new uniform this college football season. On Tuesday, the team revealed its 2025 Air Power Legacy Series threads designed to honor the F-16 Fighting Falcon fighter jet used in the Air Force. Each helmet of the uniform, from the helmet to the pants, is inspired by the fighter jet. The helmet is similar to that of a fighter pilot's, with the front bumper featuring a silhouette of the jet and replicating the pilot's visor cover. The word psycho is also displayed as a tribute to Colonel William Andrews, who used the word as a call sign. He was shot down during Operation Desert Storm and was a prisoner of war before being released. Andrews died back in 2015. The back of the helmet reads Viper, a common name for the F-16 aircraft. Air Force appears across the front of the gray jersey in white lettering alongside two patches, one for the player's name and another for the corresponding squadron represented. The American flag and squadron patch of the represented base lie on the sleeves of the jersey. Of course, I don't have pictures of it, but I'm giving you a nice description now. Viper runs down one of the pant legs, and Fighting Falcon, the official name of the fighter jet, is on the other. 3 bases, 2 squadrons, and 2 wings are featured on the uniform. The 120 Fighter Squadron, 140th Wing from Buckley Shriver Space Force Base. I'm sure people around here know where that is. The 555th Fighter Squadron from Aviano Air Base in Italy, and the 20th Fighter Wing from Shaw Air Force Base in South Carolina. The threads will be worn in Air Force's rivalry game against the Navy midshipmen on October 4th. So we're getting ready for some football, and they're getting fired up for some Falcons. So pretty cool there for Air Force. I like that. Actually, I've always loved their uniforms the most, the Air Force uniforms. I love the colors, the blues and everything. Very nice. And that's a wrap in sports. Big D, back to you.
All right, Slick, very good. 22 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. Let's do a little more headline news, and here with that is the host of the Kevin Downey Jr. Show, where I will be with him tomorrow. So make sure you get your phone calls ready and your text messages. And that's Kevin Downey Jr. What's going on?
Thanks, Big D. Can't wait for tomorrow. That's going to be a hoot. Last time you were on, you broke a record for people contacting us, calling, texting in. You broke the record.
Uh-huh.
You set the record. I don't know what's better, man. Looks like these Democrats are going back to Texas, and it looks like, and I'm not going to count any chickens before they hatch and take a dump on Jasmine Crockett, but it looks like she's going to lose her seat. By God, this is hilarious, man. This is why folks, this is the best it's ever going to be with Trump. This is the best. Every day is great. But more importantly, I think Adam Schiff looks like he might be in trouble. There's a whistleblower, someone who is friends with Schiff. All right. And I was reading, this comes from Just the News, and it says an intelligence staffer, a Democrat by party affiliation, who described himself as a friend to both Schiff and California Senator and former Republican House Intelligence Chairman Devin Nunes. I don't know who the California Senator is, doesn't say. Could be, I don't know, maybe it's Dianne Feinstein, the Crypt Keeper. Remember, she looked like the Crypt Keeper before she died. They wouldn't let her die. No, you sold your soul to the Chinese. You got to hang in there. Anyway, looks like someone very high up was really unhappy, said Schiff approved leaks. And this person found it to be unethical, illegal, and treasonous, but was told, don't worry about it. Schiff, he'll be spared prosecution under the Constitution's speech and debate clause. So he was looking to hide under that. Did Schiff get a pardon from Biden? I don't know if he's on that mega list. I don't recall.
The thing about Schiff that I think people are talking about Schiff, and they keep saying that he leaked classified information. The thing about Schiff is it's not that he leaked classified information, because that would, in some ways, if you think about it, it would actually mean that maybe President Trump had done something wrong. He leaked phony information about things that he made out that were real. Like, he leaked about the Steele dossier.
Yep.
He leaked about phone calls with General Flynn. He kept telling us that he saw evidence that no one else seemed to know where it was. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just about him leaking classified information. It's about the fact that he leaked things that he knew were false to his friends in the media.
Now, I wonder if that's illegal. You know what else it says? This is terrifying. Look at this. Adam Schiff assumed he would lead the CIA if Hillary Clinton won. How terrifying is that? This guy's the biggest weasel on the planet, folks. Talk about a stink badger in the perfume aisle. This is the big daddy of them all. And
I mean, you leak fake intelligence. I think that in some ways is it's certainly more devious.
Oh yeah,
it's even worse than leaking real evidence, because there was no real evidence of Trump doing anything with Russia. He was leaking fake evidence, fake intelligence, made up intelligence, fabrications. He was leaking as if they were truth. That's the point with Schiff and how absolutely what a scum he is. All right, 26 past the hour, more to do. We're back right after this.
Chat. Yeah, so Becky Snyder in the YouTube chat said that the ticked-off Patriot is seriously ill, so wish him well. He's been a great chatter here in the YouTube chat for as long as I can remember. Always the first one to sign on and say hello, and, just really. And Rebecca Rupert also in the chat is very ill. So we, some of our chat family's hurting. So prayers to you guys from Studio 6B for sure. We've all going through issues with family, and it's just really humbling, boy. Your health is everything. It really is everything. You don't have a lot of money and you're healthy, you're doing damn good. I'll tell you that much. So God bless them. I think I missed a super chat earlier. Sorry about that, whoever that was. You have a guest here? Oh, I like him. I haven't seen him in a minute. Spoke says Schiff needs a Gitmo vacation. Expedia.com. Book me a room.
right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night. Glad you're in. Slick's going to do some more sports. Kevin Downey Jr. has got some more headlines coming up before the end of the show. But right now, please welcome back to the show. He is the editor-in-chief of AMAC Newsline from our great friends over at AMAC, Shane Harris. Welcome back to the show. Shane, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
It's always good to have you. Thanks for a few moments. Lots to talk about in the news. Obviously, the latest liberal meltdown was over President Trump reinstituting the presidential fitness test, and we saw the president there with, Triple H from the WWE, Bryson DeChambeau from the PGA, and many others. So he's brought together a bunch of different worlds. I thought Democrats were used to before this. Didn't Michelle Obama have a get moving thing? But the liberals seem to be melting down over this. Why is that?
Yeah, no, of course, the liberals, they can't help but take the 20 side of every 80-20 issue. And in this case, it's getting our kids healthy, right? I mean, look, you walk into any elementary school across America, it's pretty alarming. There's a lot of kids who are unhealthy, out of shape. And I think a big part of that is that we got rid of the presidential fitness test. This is something that Democrats going back to JFK and LBJ, were really kind of the pioneers of it and supported. And I believe we got rid of it under the Obama administration. It was a big mistake. I mean, it's not like we're asking kids to run a marathon, right? It's just a 1 mile run, a few push-ups, sit-ups to make sure you're baseline healthy. And so, like I said, I think it's great that President Trump's bringing this back. It's good to have a little competition, light fire under kids a little bit to get in shape and teach them those values early on, because we know that carries over later in life and just makes for a healthier country overall.
Yeah, we're seeing somewhat of a cultural shift, in the country in little things that are happening that you notice. A Sydney Sweeney recently ad came out, and we were told that that was racist to her commercial. There was actually an opinion piece on the fitness test that also said, I guess somehow running the mile and doing push-ups could be considered racist. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so that was an opinion piece that came on the Washington Post, and I almost I did a double take when I read it. I'm like, am I reading like the Onion or the Babylon Bee? Like, what is going on here? Are we really saying that running the mile is racist? But of course, that's the left, right? Like anything they don't like, that's their immediate go-to. Is they just claim that it's racist. They claim that it's discriminatory. But honestly, I'm all here for it because it just exposes how ridiculous, nonsensical the left is. And again, you've got, all these famous pro athletes in the White House next to President Trump. And, kids are watching and thinking, do I want to be like those guys, like the cool professional golfer? Or do I want to be like the 400-pound, gender fluid, blue-haired person with a nose piercing who the Biden administration had running things? And I think that's no question.
Yeah, I mean, and it just goes to the Democrat Party's problem with men, right? Didn't we see them? They hired some girl who was, I'm trying to be nice here. Her job was to go connect with young men and bring them into the Democratic Party, but she didn't look like, that she could, she just didn't look like she could connect with young men. It looks like she connected more with like McDonald's than anything else. I mean, I'm trying to be nice, but the party doesn't seem to have a plan to reach out to men. It seems like masculinity and men and, kind of like that WWE, NASCAR audience. The Democrats have never seemed to quite get it, why guys like UFC, why they like the WWE, and like the Americana values that most guys, red-blooded American males, see in those things and Sydney Sweeney ads and the hot American girl. They just don't get it at all, do they?
Yeah, no, not at all. And I think a big part of that is you look at who's running the party, right? I mean, who's the most masculine man in the Democrat Party today? It's not Pete Buttigieg. I mean, is it Bernie Sanders, who's like 1 million years old? I mean, I just don't know who is this strong masculine figure that Democrats can point to and say, this is our guy that, everyday American men relate to. And I think the presidential fitness test is just part of that. You mentioned the Sydney Sweeney ad. They're spending something like $20 million to figure out how to connect with men. I don't know, maybe don't insult everything they like. I mean, there was an opinion piece, I think it may have been in Vanity Fair out last year, talking about how being fit makes you like a right-wing bigot. And guys are looking around, they're saying, well, if it's conservative to work out, if it's conservative to like beautiful women, well, I guess I'm a conservative. And then Democrats are turning around and saying, oh, wait, why are we struggling so much with men? I mean, there's really no question why. You're essentially driving men away. I mean, the Democrat Party today has become so effeminate and emasculated, and now they're wondering why they can't connect with men who they do want to, they do want to work out. They do like watching sports. They do want to go out there and conquer the world, and the Republican Party is fully embracing that. So it's really no question. The presidential fitness test, the backlash to President Trump reinstating it, I mean, it's just more evidence of that, I think.
Yeah. We're speaking with Shane Harris. He's the editor-in-chief of AMAC Newsline. What else are you guys working on at AMAC Newsline? Any other subject matter that's kind of caught your attention right now?
Yeah, absolutely. We're following lots of stories right now, one of which being President Trump's decision to federalize the D.C. Police Department, bring in the National Guard to restore order in the city. We had a couple of pieces out on that, got one more coming out tomorrow, talking about how, the Democrat reaction to this, right, where they're talking about how, crime in D.C., it's at a 30-year low. Well, that's the same as they said last year when President Biden and Kamala Harris were saying, the economy is actually doing great. Sure, there's 20% cumulative inflation, but look how low the unemployment rate is. And it just shows how tone deaf they are. They like to go to the data and be like, well, the data says this. Like, yeah, our eyeballs say this. I can see people getting mugged, carjacked in downtown D.C. in broad daylight. So that's something that's we've really been on hot recently. Looking forward to Congress coming back at the end of the month as well, getting the government funding deadlines looming. So lots of interesting stories.
Yeah, that should be great.
Over at AMAC.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait for that to happen. Here we go. Once again, September 30th looming. You think we're going to get 12 individual spending bills? I think not. I think it'll be business as usual for the Republicans telling us why we got to rush something through. But I hope I'm wrong, but maybe we'll see. But either way, we know you guys at AMAC will be on top of it. Shane, thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right, AMAC, go over there, amac.us/Studio6B, amac.us/Studio6B. 37 past the hour. Let's do some more headline news with Kevin Downey Jr. He's the host of the Kevin Downey Jr. Show. What else is going on?
Well, before I get started on that, let me just say, as you guys were talking, I Googled this because I had seen it before. Time Magazine, headline, The White Supremacist Origins of Exercise, and 6 other surprising facts about the history of U.S. physical fitness. This is nothing more than a ploy, a subterfuge to get people to stop working out so that we can be weak and frail when they come to take us. All right, that's why they're going against toxic masculinity, because that's a man who's going to defend his home, and they don't want that. But back to the headlines. This is great, folks. Remember, I've said this before. Trump is changing the culture. Here he is going after cultural Marxism. This is the National Pulse. Highly recommend them. Headlines: Smithsonian begins review to replace woke ideology with Americanism. This is amazing. Because once upon a time, you could go to the Smithsonian and you could see a tree. I saw a tree shot down by bullets in the Civil War. It might still be there, might not. I don't know. But what else you're going to see is, hey, look, it's the bathing suit worn by Leah Thomas when she won all these awards. Well, actually, don't forget, was it UPenn or Penn State?
UPenn.
UPenn. Thank you, Slick. UPenn apologized to those girls for having to shower with this confused and probably somewhat mentally ill man. But this is amazing because remember, they pushed woke and now woke is gone. Trump knows that killing woke is the key to victory here. It's one of them. So they're going through anything that even reeks of divisiveness or woke narratives will be replaced by something to celebrate American exceptionalism. All of this coming before the nation's 250th birthday. If Biden had won, what do you think this 250th birthday would be like? Nothing. There'd be nothing going on. It would be he'd be apologizing. He'd be apologizing for everything he would think to apologize for. This is great. Look at this. A key quote from the article. By focusing on Americanism, the people, principles, and progress that define our nation, we can work together to renew the Smithsonian's role as the world's leading museum institution. That's from Trump right there. I cannot tell you, folks, how devastating woke has been to our nation. Remember, I'll say it again. In 2015, it was, hey, where are these 9 transgender guys going to take a leak to? You honor your kids' pronouns or we'll take them from you. You use that employee's pronouns or we'll fire you. This is what happens This is what happens. And again, I'm going to go back to the 45 goals of communism. One of them says to normalize homosexuality and degeneracy and all sorts of things. And I always thought, well, gay, that's fairly normal. And I'm for gay marriage, but I see now the other side of that. Well, all right, thanks for giving that up. Now we're going to take your kid if you don't start calling him Carla instead of Carl. But this is a real kick into the non-binary crotch of woke right here. This is massive. This is the return of America.
All right. There is some breaking news tonight before we continue with Kevin's headlines. It's not really breaking at this point because I know John has done some media already, but John Solomon, again, breaking more news today over at Just the News. And besides Adam Schiff, there was somebody else that the FBI was concerned about. And John dropped this tonight. And that was, of course, James Comey and this guy who worked for him. James Comey's media mole, as they called him, told the FBI he shaped Russian narrative, needed discount to deny leaking intel. This is quite the excuse here when he was confronted. Cut 5, Aaron, roll that.
Tonight we're going to tell you about another person that they had concerns about. He was FBI Director James Comey's media mole. That's what they used to call him inside the FBI. He worked around the FBI press office as a private citizen working as a special government employee. He was a Columbia Law professor named Daniel Richmond. And when the FBI finally confronted him and said, hey, what were you doing talking to the media? He admitted his job was to to improve or polish the image of James Comey from some of the negative coverage he was getting and to set the narrative, to basically shape the narrative on Russia collusion and other stories in Washington. And when they confronted him and said, hey, you met with James Comey, you got some classified information, you then talked to a reporter very soon after who reported some of that classified information. He said this is going to turn out to be one of the great denials in all of Washington's history. There's a lot of Washington speak. This one will be remembered as a famous one. I don't think I leaked if you give me a discount, basically saying, I deny doing that with a discount. In other words, you have to give me a little discount on my truthfulness when I deny that I didn't leak that information. With that information, the FBI and the Justice Department decided, like they did with Adam Schiff, not to pursue any further criminal investigation. They didn't bring people before a grand jury. They didn't ask Congressman Schiff, now Senator Schiff, to come before a grand jury. They basically left it at these sort of wily interviews and intriguing pieces of evidence that certainly pointed to a large number of leaks. We're going to make all these documents available over the next several nights on justthenews.com.
I mean, as you continue to hear this, the Schiff thing yesterday and this thing today, you just have to ask yourself, what in the hell was Christopher Wray in the DOJ doing on never acting on any of this stuff? Well, we know what they were doing or not doing. Absolutely crazy. All right, we'll wrap it up for a Tuesday. A little more sports with Slick, a little more news with Kevin Downey right after this.
Chris D says he's a lesbian trapped in a man's body.
Who, Schiff?
No, Chris D. In the YouTube chat. Very good. You know, we haven't seen in a long time, Big D, Child of the King. You haven't spoken to her, right? In some time?
No.
People in the chat been asking, where is COTK? Yeah, we haven't seen her
I don't know.
in quite some time now. Got to be a good month, I'm going to say. Maybe more. Weeks go by so damn
it's a
fast.
good point, actually. I didn't.
Yeah. She's usually in there, giving super chats and gifting subs as well, memberships. I don't know. Anybody hear from Child of the King? Let us know. Hope she's okay. Sometimes people just need to decompress for a while and get out of the craziness. Susan Sabelberry says her dad was ill. So maybe perhaps something there. Taking care of her dad. Thank you for that, Sue Sabelberry. Appreciate that update.
Big D, did you see the D.C. police chief response to chain of command? What's that?
Yeah. Yeah. Did you guys do that yet? We'll do it.
I have it. We
go
can do
ahead,
that.
yeah. I got some stuff too. That's great.
Pretty sure I have that. I'd really love to play this clip. I can't believe this guy, what's his name, took out Schumer.
Oh, John Oliver?
Yeah.
Want to watch some of it? It's kind of long, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's wrap it up. We'll do some more sports news to get to a couple clips here. Slick's Got Sports, brought to you by Mike Lindell. Slickster, what else is going on?
All right, we'll give you a quick sweep of the scoreboard, Big D, if I may. Yankees right now, it looks like 8-1 over the Twins, top of the eighth. Looks like that's all been done in the Bronx. Blue Jays 5-1 over the Cubs, top of the ninth. Pete Alonso having a big night, hit another home run in the sixth. Mets lead 13-5 on that record-setting night for Pete, becoming the Mets' all-time home run leader. And then that's in the top of the ninth there. White Sox trailing the Tigers 1-0, top of the fifth. Kevin, good pitching duel there. Brewers bombing the Pirates 12-0, bottom of the seventh. Royals 8-4 over the Nationals, bottom seven. We got bottom fifth, Rockies over the Cardinals 3-0. Rangers 2-1 over the Diamondbacks, top of the sixth. Also top six, Red Sox blanking the Astros 2-0. We got the Dodgers 1-0 over the Angels mid-first. Padres and Giants no score, just underway. We got finals from earlier tonight. Mariners blanked the Orioles 1-0. Reds 6-1 over the Phillies in a rain-trodden game there. A lot of bad weather in Ohio area. Guardians 4-1 over the Marlins, 4-3 over the Marlins, final. And last but not least, Rays taking on the A's. Rays and A's in Oakland, 10:05 first pitch. And this Shohei Ohtani, man, he's got to get some kind of advisor or some kind of advice about how he handles his business, I'm going to suggest. But Shohei Ohtani, an agent accused of exploiting celebrity status to force partners out of $250 million realty deal. Now, whether he's guilty or not, this guy just seems to really step into some bad investments and things. Broker and investor alleged torturous interference and unjust enrichment in luxury housing venture. This is Ryan Morick of Fox News. Shohei Ohtani and his agent were hit with a lawsuit by a real estate investor and broker in Hawaii, claiming they got them fired from a $250 million luxury housing development. The Los Angeles Dodgers two-way superstar agents is accused of increasingly demanding concessions from developer Kevin J. Hayes and real estate broker Tomoko Matsumoto, and then demanding their own business partner, Kings Barn Realty Capital, drop them from the deal. Balello and Ohtani, who were brought into the venture solely for Ohtani's promotional and branding value, exploited their celebrity to leverage, destabilize, and ultimately dismantle plaintiff's role in the project for no reason other than their own financial self-interest, the lawsuit said via the AP. This case is about abuse of power. The lawsuit continued. Defendants used threats and baseless legal claims to force a business partner to betray its contractual obligations and strip plaintiffs of the very project they conceived and built. So I don't want want to read a whole law thing here. But bottom line is, Ohtani, obviously it's got to play out in court, but we'll see what happens. He didn't have that issue with I think one of his handlers, his interpreter, was betting money on with his accounts or something earlier in the year. He got cleared of that, but I don't know. Anyway, Big D, I'm going to keep an eye on that story, see where that goes, and that's a wrap in sports. Back to you.
All right, Slick, very good. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. So a couple things here. Somebody in the chat reminded us of this clip today. This was the police chief in D.C. was doing a presser today, and she got asked a question after Trump's press conference about what's going to happen now. Here was the question, and here was the answer.
What the chain of command is now?
Do you know what the chain of command is now, was the question, just in case you couldn't hear it. The audio's a little... Do you know what the chain of command... Now, Slick, do you know what the chain of command is here on the show?
Yeah.
Okay. Kevin, do you know what the chain of command... You know what that term means, right?
Of course.
All right, here we go.
The chain of command is now?
What does that mean?
Well, is it Pam Bondi speaking to the mayor, speaking to you, or how does this work?
So at the executive...
Mayor Bowser, I'll step in here. What does that mean? Well, what did she think? I mean, I don't even understand that.
I don't either.
You're the police chief. Someone says to you, what's the chain of command now that Trump's put this thing in place? And you say, does that mean?
Talk about a DEI
Higher.
cluster, you know what? Holy moly.
God.
Holy moly is right. What does that mean?
That's scary.
That's like a chef going, what do you mean spices?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah. Really? Spices?
What are these spices you speak of?
Here was, speaking of Trump's federal takeover, here was another. This one's right up there as well. This is from MSNBC this morning.
I think it's really important to be clear about what is going on here.
Sure.
And a relatively small crime problem is being used
I think Big D's got a rocket
for
hairdo like that.
specific authoritarian purposes that we know and understand. So let's be clear about D.C. does have one really big crime problem, which was the January 6th insurrection incited by the current president of the United States.
There you go.
And his first act in coming back was pardoning all the people who tried to overturn constitutional republic order in Washington, D.C. When I go to D.C., I'm not afraid of losing my wallet so much as I'm afraid of losing my vote. I'm not afraid of losing my wallet so much as I'm afraid that my children's freedom to breathe will be stolen in a world where climate change policy is non-existent. I'm afraid that the future of middle-class people will be stolen by the very things you were talking about, cutting the safety net, cutting Medicaid, cutting rural hospitals.
Right.
So there is carjacking.
Of course,
let me just finish. There is a carjacking
but you got to worry about two things. You got to worry about two things at the same time.
Let me just finish my point. I think it's real.
I mean, that's fire
why their
TV.
ratings
right
are
there.
horrible.
Oh, that
I
is
wonder why.
that is fire TV right there, man. That is why people tune in.
Look like that guy.
Should be worried about who does his hair. I think most of anything.
He sat down and goes, "Hey, give me the Oompa Loompa look. Look gray. I want to look like an old Oompa Loompa."
I mean, it looks. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hip. I mean, I don't know. I think that I'd have to get. It looks like a paintbrush. All right. Well, I mean, I'd have to get much longer hair, but I could maybe rock that dude.
Yeah, you could.
Looks like he was kicked out of a gay Sha-Na-Na.
Exactly. By Bowser.
I don't know. I'm going gray. I like that he rocks the gray, doesn't try to do what Vin used to do and put shoe polish in his hair. I like that he just kind of...
That's not gray. That's whiteout.
Okay, but I mean, you know what I mean? He's just rolling with it. I'm kind of down with that. I don't know.
Big D. We might be seeing you sporting that by October.
I don't know if I could let my hair grow that long to be able to do that.
He looks like the heat miser.
You could
at 90. I'm Mr. Heat Miser.
No.
I'm so old.
No, he looks like the brother, the Freeze dude. That's who he looks like. Mr. Heat Miser was the red. Yeah, he looks like he reminds me of the Freeze guy.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Could be. Well, the Heat Miser was
I kind of like it.
No, you're right.
People
The Heat
just
Miser.
kind of go with
Heat
it.
Miser.
Someone said Liberace lives. I don't think. No, it doesn't look like Liberace.
Liberace lives.
Like Liberace. All right, Kev. Anything else in the news you want to cover?
Yeah. This is great. Nancy Pelosi sends a tweet because she's too stupid to shut up for a minute. Says, she wrote, Donald Trump delayed deploying the National Guard on January 6th when our Capitol was under violent attack and when lives are at stake. Now he's activating the D.C. Guard to distract from his incompetent mishandling, blah, blah, blah. Well, here comes former Capitol Police Chief Stephen Sund, who says, ma'am, it's a long time past, to be honest with the American people. On January 3rd, I requested the National Guard assistance, but your sergeant-at-arms denied it. Under federal law such and such, I was prohibited from calling them without specific approval. That same day, Carol Corbin at the Pentagon offered National Guard support, but I was forced to decline because I lacked the legal authority. On January 6th, while the Capitol was under, it says attack, but it wasn't. That's what I've heard. And despite my repeated calls, your sergeant-at-arms again denied my urgent request for over 70 agonizing minutes, running it up a chain for your approval. When I needed assistance, it was denied. Yet when it suited you, you ordered fencing topped with concertina wire and surrounded the Capitol with thousands of armed National Guards. Again, that is from Chief Stephen Sund. He was in charge of the Capitol cops that day.
All right, as always, we salute our military, active and active police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, everybody on the front lines protecting us. Thanks, guys. Kevin Downey Jr., I'll see you tomorrow morning, 9 to 11. The Kevin Downey Jr. Show. Get your questions and your phone calls and your text messages ready. We'll have some fun tomorrow morning. Aaron and Fran, great job as always. Most of all, thank you to Live from Studio 6B audience. We'll see you tomorrow night back here, 8 p.m., live from Studio 6B.